On July 28, 2021, police pull over a woman for speeding in Essex, Maryland. But what they discover during that traffic stop would send shivers down the spine of this Baltimore County community. The officer notices some suspicious things about the car. It has fake paper tags from West Virginia, and it's also unregistered and uninsured. So they decide to have it towed. But not before the owner of the car, a woman named Nicole Johnson, opens the trunk to grab her belongings. The officer is then hit with a very overwhelming smell. As Johnson removes a plastic tote and clear trash bag from the car, the officer notices maggots in the clear bag. In this moment, Johnson claims that the bugs are due to dirty laundry, but in reality, Johnson has a dirty little secret. Under the blankets, there's a suitcase. And inside the suitcase, police find the body of a child. Johnson tries to run, but she's quickly apprehended. Meanwhile, the officers search even deeper and find a second child. So who is Nicole Johnson? And more importantly, who are these young victims and what happened to them? The children were 7-year-old Joshlyn Johnson and 5-year-old Larry Darnell O'Neill. Their relation to Johnson? She was their aunt. Court documents reveal that in 2019, the biological mother of the kids, Joshlyn Johnson, moved from Ohio to Maryland and would leave her kids with her sister, Nicole Johnson. She stated that in that moment she wasn't able to provide for them, but she also claims that she'd been trying to get the kids back for a while now, but her sister, and I quote, disappeared. But Nicole Johnson's disappearance makes sense when you hear her side of the story. Nicole states that in May of 2020, she hit her 7-year-old niece in a fit of rage, which caused her to fall down and hit her head. She would then place the little girl's body in a suitcase and into the trunk of her car, meaning that Jocelyn had been in the back of that car for over a year.
One kid essentially disappears for a year and a half, and nobody seems to be trying to figure out where this kid is.
Nicole also admitted that her nephew Larry had been dead since May of 2021. She stated that one day he went to sleep in the back of the car and never woke up. When she discovered him lifeless, she also moved his body into the trunk. When their bodies were discovered, they both weighed between 18 and 20 pounds.
There must have been people over the course of this last year and a half, that these kids were in this aunt's custody, that they would have seen that these kids were not thriving and beginning to suffer.
Now this news rattled the community, and many neighbors came out to express their heartache for these two kids.
It's a sad situation for everybody.
You don't know how the kids suffered. It's really a hard pill to swallow. It is.
Their grandmother, Michelle Johnson, claims that she was looking out for the children as far back as Christmas of 2019. Even back then, she thought they looked really malnourished, which made her grow really concerned for their safety.
I've been fighting. I called Protective Service. I texted the mayor. I was waiting for my grandkids to come home. They never came back to me.
Fast forward to February 10th of this year, and Nicole Johnson has been sentenced to 50 years in prison for the child abuse charges.
I want to pay with every soul in my bone. They can put it to sleep as far as I'm concerned.
It's absolutely heartbreaking, and the saddest part to me about this whole story is that it potentially could have been prevented.
Maryland Family Law 5-705 says that every citizen in the state of Maryland, regardless of your job or occupation, has a legal obligation to report abuse, that you're not prohibited or prevented from picking up the phone and dialing 911 or your local child protective services agency there. Everybody can help.